How y'all doing? CJ Moto here, and I just wanted to quick talk a little bit about my new DJI Mavic Air now that I have about 15 flights on it or so, maybe a few more than that. And I just wanted to compare it. A lot of people have questions about the difference between this and the Spark, and if it's worth upgrading from the Spark to the DJI Mavic Air, or if you don't have either and you're looking at your first maybe DJI drone, should you go with the Mavic Air or the Spark? And my honest opinion is there really is no complete right or wrong answer to that. And I'll try to explain why as best I can, or just give you my feedback. I think they're both amazing pieces of equipment and pieces of technology, and I have thoroughly enjoyed both of them. I had the Spark. I bought it at Best Buy. I had it for about 55 flights. Never crashed it, nothing like that. And then I went ahead and took it back, paid the 15% restocking fee, and I switched it for this guy that I got for price match on Amazon for like 900. One thing with this you never want to forget to do is remove that little guy before you fly, because it will stress your gimbal out and overload your gimbal. And then always put it back on after you turn it off. But anyhow, when I first unboxed this thing, it felt kind of fragile compared to the Spark. And one of the reasons is it was super light. So, all right, well, first of all, I did that wrong. You want to unfold the back arm first and then follow that by the front. And then you pop these out. So when you're taking it, the arms out, you want to do the back arm first, the one that folds upwards like that, and then you follow it by the front arm, and then you fold down your little landing gear guy. And then the opposite when you're going back together. You want to do the front first, okay, and then do your back ones. You get the idea. But you won't hurt it either way. They're plenty strong. One of the reasons it felt so flimsy when I first got out of the box was because the battery, when you get one of these suckers, especially the this particular model, the Mavic Air, it's so light, like it almost feels like a toy. But then when you put the battery in, it really gives it a lot more weight to it. They feel very similar in the air. The experience of flying them is very similar. It honestly is. The video quality is great on both of them. Obviously in this one you get the 4K option. And then also in the Mavic Air, okay, so the Spark is going to give you a gimbal that goes up and down, and then it goes, I believe, like this, tilts like that. It goes like that and up and down. And then in the air, you get it to where it also goes side to side. The side to side stabilization on the Spark is computerized. It's like so it's a 2-axis gimbal, whereas this one's a 3-axis. It'll go up, down, side, side, and then like that also, whatever you call that, yaw maybe. So 2-axis versus 3-axis is a difference, but honestly, like in the video quality and the experience of flying it, you really don't notice it. They're really both great. They both take amazing video footage. So what are the differences that you notice? The main differences you notice are the price. This is going to cost more. The portability is really about the same, honestly. You're going to notice this is going to have better video quality because it has the 4K and tons of different options for videos. You're going to notice this will fly faster. This will do 42 miles an hour, whereas the Spark will do 32 miles per hour. You're going to notice this guy will fly longer. You'll get like 18 to 20 minutes in real world flying on this. And on the Spark, you'll get 12, 13 minutes, something along those lines. You're going to notice that on the Spark, your propellers fold, which I kind of wish these did too. But for whatever reason, these are solid. I'm sure it makes it more efficient and stronger and just like kind of a more solid flying experience. But if you ever see the videos where people put the Spark propellers on this, I don't recommend that. That's not wise. It's not the same propeller, not the same pitch, not the same diameter. it's not smart to put the Spark propellers on this drone. If they come out with a folding propeller specifically made for this drone, then fine. It's also not wise to go online and buy eBay propellers and stuff like that. The propellers are not that expensive from DJI, you know, so just go with that. The controllers are pretty much identical between the two. Here's what your controller looks like. The main difference between this controller and the Spark controller is this one you can take these off and easily lose them, really, is what that amounts to. I don't take them off, I keep them on, and I thread them in, and I crank them down pretty tight so I don't end up losing them. You do get an extra set, but I mean, it's still no reason to be losing your freaking stuff, you know. Other than that, the controllers are more or less identical. You have one extra button, I believe. I don't think this button's on the Spark at all. Okay, the other thing that's important is this is cool because the Spark has like a little USB-C or something like that right here. This one actually has the full size USB plug. So when you're doing your hardwire connection to your phone, all you need is one wire, a USB to an iPhone cord or a USB to an Android cord. And then you plug that directly into your phone. Okay. One other thing to note that I had to do, I like to keep my case on my phone when I'm flying, and I have an iPhone 5 SE. I actually removed, these little things used to hold the dials when they're not installed, or the, you know, whatever you want to call these, wow, I'm drawing a blank. That's crazy, I can't remember what those are called. But anyhow, they're held there. I took those mounts out to give more room right there to fit my phone in. But anyhow, yeah, the controllers are pretty much the same. They're both, I mean, honestly, they're both amazing drones, okay? You're not going to regret getting this, and you're also not going to regret getting the Spark. If you want to do longer distance flights, like try to really get out there, you could look at one of my videos where I actually got 2.4 miles on this guy. I never got anywhere close to that much distance on my Spark, and it wasn't, I don't think it was because this thing, that it's not capable. I think the biggest reason is just the battery run time. It's just even if you could get out to 1.52 miles, you would really be struggling to get back on the Spark, because even with the increased capacity on here, you're still struggling to get back at 2.5 miles. So these really do have enough range to take them out as far as you can. Now that's depending on conditions. I haven't tried the more expensive DJI drones. I've only tried the Air and the Spark. But both of them, they're very dependent on where you're flying it. So if you're flying it in the city around a lot of houses and stuff like that, you're going to maybe get 3/4 of a mile, maybe less. If you're flying out in the middle of a huge field, you're going to get tons of distance. So it's just very vastly dependent on that. And like I said before, it's very important when you get this Mavic Air, because the Spark doesn't have this cover. If you fire this thing up and forget to remove this cover, your gimbal is going to stick in there and you're going to have an overload, and eventually you could burn out the motors. So just always take this off, and at the same time, don't lose this little guy. He's not very big, so put him somewhere safe. I also would really recommend, so the bag that you get, real quick, the last thing I'll cover, on the Air, the bag you get looks like this, and I never used this. I was using this to hold my little extra knobs. But when you have this bag, you have to take the knobs off the controller, and then everything kind of stacks. Your batteries go in here, and then this flips down. And then they want you to sit the Air right here, and then they want you to slide the controller right here in this little slot. I just didn't really like that. I didn't feel like it had enough protection. I know it probably did, but I went ahead and got this Polar Pro case, and it's absolutely amazing. And it's so cool because your controller fits in here with the dials, or with the knobs on it. Knobs, there's the word. Fits in there with the knobs on it, okay? And then you can fit your parabolic range extender if you do have one. I have one from Sunny Life. They're like $8. I have videos about those if you're curious. You can fit all your wires, charger, and everything right here. You can fit 1, 2, 3 batteries, another battery here underneath the drone, and then one in the drone. So you get 5 batteries in this case. And then I'll fold up the drone real fast. So like I said before, little quiz for you. Which ones do you do first, front or back, when you're putting it away? Okay, let's think here. You do the front ones first, okay? Or I'm sorry, yeah, the front ones first. Fold up your front legs, fold them in, okay? Always take the back ones out first, and when you're putting it away, put them in last. Back ones, very simple. And then when you take this sucker and you put it in your case, it goes like this. And look at this, just fits right in here real nice. Just like that. And you literally got everything you need right in that little small case, and it's all laid right out there for you, and it's all protected very well. Your batteries are nice and snug. They stick in there. And it's just perfect. So you can throw, I put my extra cord in there, and then there's a little zipper pouch up top for your propellers. But yeah, honestly, moral of the story is, if you want to spend $400, my biggest advice, get the Spark. You know, if you want to spend more, if you want to spend twice that, you won't regret getting the Mavic Air. Okay, now either one that you choose, no matter which way you go, make sure you get the Fly More combo. It's just, you'll get the extra batteries, you'll get everything you need, and it's just better. Because in the long run, if you end up buying one and not getting the Fly More combo, that you're just gonna regret that decision, and you're gonna end up wanting to buy more batteries within a day or two. Because you got to have at least 3 batteries. I would say you need at least 3 batteries to have a really, like, the best experience with these things. Anyhow, I hope that helped a little bit. That was just the first. I'll do a more in-depth, or try to, you know, do videos on specific different things that I notice or that I enjoy or whatever. But check out my other videos to see footage from the Mavic Air and the Spark. My fireworks footage is of the Spark. It was amazing footage. The thing took awesome video. If you take video on the Spark and you post it on a, like, you could post it and say it was from whatever drone you wanted, and I don't think anyone would argue. So yeah, they're awesome. I might even get another Spark sometime. I just didn't want to have 2 drones at this moment because you can only fly one at a time. So hopefully eventually I will get the Mavic 2, and I'll be able to give you my take on that as well. But DJI in general, huge thumbs up for me. And I've been doing RC stuff my whole life. Planes, boats, trains, cars, racing, 8th scale, 10th scale, everything. And these things are really amazing. And I would also recommend going to Best Buy if you can. They have great little deals and stuff, and just figure out how long you have to take it back. Keep it in good condition. If you change your mind, you can always upgrade. You could always get the Spark and then do what I did and upgrade to the Air, you know, 15 days later or a month later, all depending on your return policy. Just remember, you're gonna have to pay that 15% restocking fee. Anyhow, I hope y'all learned a little bit of something from this video, and if I have any complaints, I will let you know. And I really don't have hardly any complaints at all from either one of those drones. They're both amazing. That's it for tonight. CJ Moto out.